It has been a cold and cruel January. Cold and cruel indeed. This video and its message are not an incitement to violence. They are incitement to justice. They are an incitement to restoration, to constitutionality. And even if it was an incitement to violence, an incitement to political violence, to act as if the fascist Trump administration is not currently engaged in coordinated, organized, and institutionalized political violence is to deny reality on a scale that is unimaginable for any rational, reasonable, well-adjusted human being. Your government has taken up arms against you. They have raised an army, a standing army, under the direct control of the executive for the purpose, the express and exclusive purpose of terrorizing you, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your communities, your cities. They have taken up arms against you. They have killed your fellow citizens in the streets, mercilessly, unabashedly, shamelessly, with reckless abandon, with impunity. And worse than that, they're celebrating. They are celebrating the murder of an American citizen, exercising her constitutionally protected rights. They're celebrating the cruelty and the inhumanity with which they're treating your countrymen. They trample your rights. They violate the law. They spit on our Constitution, on our culture, on our heritage, on our values, on all of the things that this country was built on. They piss on Washington's grave. They piss on Jefferson's grave. They piss on Lincoln's grave. They piss on the grave of any American who gave their life, their own blood, to water the tree of liberty. Your government has taken up arms against you. Your government is in rebellion. Pursuant to Amendments 2 and 10 of the Constitution of the United States of America, the people of the various states retain and have never surrendered the right to form and reform their government whenever they please, for whatever reason, and by whatever means is necessary. This constituent right predates the formation of the government under which we currently live, and was the very same right invoked by Washington after the Rebellion of Shays. This constituent right is ours to invoke. And we must invoke it now. A state of war exists between the federal government of the United States of America and the people of the various states, the people of the United States. A message to the governors. Call your citizens to arms. Call your citizens to arms now against this fascist, tyrannical regime that executes law-abiding, peaceful Americans in the street for doing nothing more than observing, lawfully observing, their government's unlawful and inhumane actions. Call your citizens to arms against the Nazis, that have infiltrated your federal government, the federal government that is supposed to represent us, to represent you and your constituencies. Call your citizens to arms against these people that walk our streets for the express purpose of terrorizing us, for the express purpose of murdering us. You think these people, they're not people. You think these fucking vipers in Congress, in the executive, are going to save you? You think they're going to help you? You think they won't stab you in the back the moment you step out of line? They're fascists. They're Nazis. They want nothing else but to kill and purge and exterminate groups that they don't like. Call your citizens to arms. We must fight back. We must fight now. Pick up your rifle, Governor, and stand by your people. Do not stand by the tyrant, by the fascist. Because if you do, we will remember you, and you will hang next to them. A message to law enforcement. The pigs will die fighting the Nazis, or they will die fighting us. In either case, pigs will die, and the world will be a better place for it. So the only question that is left to consider is whether or not pigs want to restore any amount of confidence that the public has in their institution. If they want to restore any dignity to their souls, if they want to pretend like there was any goodness in them to begin with. You have a choice. You know that the institution of law enforcement in this country is corrupt. From the tip to the base, all of it. You know it. You have seen it. Some of you have been defended by the blue wall of silence. And if there's any dignity left in you, if there's any humanity left in you, and I'm not convinced that there are, that there is any humanity left in you, I'm not convinced of it. But you have an opportunity to show us. Take up arms. Pick up your service weapons and take up arms next to your constituents, next to the people that you swore to serve and protect, because you did not swear an oath to the Department of Homeland Security. You did not swear an oath to the president. You did not swear an oath to fascism and tyranny. You swore an oath to the Constitution. You swore an oath to your people. Pick up the rifle. March with us in the streets. And you might spare yourself a noose. A message to my countrymen. To take up arms against the people of the United States is to declare yourself not just a fascist, but a traitor. And the price of treason is a noose. It always has been this way, and it must always be this way. Every last one of them must hang as traitors to the Republic. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, all of them. Anyone complicit with this fascist Trump administration must hang. Anyone who committed, anyone who permitted, anyone who incited the crimes of the fascist Trump administration must hang. This is not the time to call for peace. This is not the time to call for meaningless protest. This is the time to take up arms, because the government has taken up arms against you, and they will continue to do so. I hear a lot of people in the mainstream media, independent reporters, politicians, pigs, talk about how what the Trump administration wants to accomplish in Minneapolis is an incitement of chaos. What they want to accomplish is to spring this trap on the American people, to get us to react violently, to get us to engage in legitimate acts of political violence. And they say that this is unacceptable, that political violence has no place in this movement. Well, I'm sorry to be the one to deliver to you this memo that pops the stupid little bubble that you've been living under. But political violence in this country is a normal part of our civic process. It always has been, it always will be. This is not the first time, and it won't be the last. There is no more peace. Peace no longer exists. Peace was destroyed when Jonathan Ross executed, murdered Renee Good in the streets of Minneapolis, 4 blocks away from where George Floyd was similarly executed. No more. The buck stops here. It has to. Because if it doesn't, it will continue to roll and it will crush us. We cannot negotiate with these people. Because they're not people. They're monsters. They're ghouls. They're cruel and inhumane. And it's a terrible thing to think of another human being that way. But that's how they think about you. And they don't seem to have any remorse. All must hang. All must hang. All titles, all stations, all levels, all locales. The United States federal government is illegitimate. It must be purged and replaced with people who are actually willing to put forward the measures and to make good on the promise of reform. We must forcibly put the monster back in the cage. We must beat it ruthlessly, violently, viciously, until it fears us again. Because that is the good kind of government that we should want. That is the only kind of government that we should want. A government that actually fears us. And we must do so in the name of liberty, in the name of human decency, in the name of the law, in the name of the Constitution, which gives us not the right, not the responsibility, but the obligation to remove tyrants from power by any means necessary. The federal government is illegitimate. All federal laws are null and void. Because the government has taken up arms against the people. Pick up your rifle. Your life, the life of your neighbors, depends on it.